The Black Hand is a secret agency of Serbians, founded in 1911 by 10 Serbian men. By 1914, the Black Hand had recruited around 2,500 extremely nationalistic new members, consisting of soldiers, professors, and judges, all with the one goal of creating an independent Serbian state with means of violence, if necessary. Austria-Hungary is a country whose borders have been drawn, encasing many different ethnic groups into one country. Austria-Hungary closely relates to the situation that Iraq has been struggling with for centuries, where making different groups of indigenous cultures live in that same country leads to drastic ethnic violence. The Black Hand had a goal of uniting all Serbs throughout Austria-Hungary, and they believed that the death of the Austro-Hungarian Archduke, Franz Ferdinand, was one of the only things standing in their way. 3 members of the Black Hand, Gavrilo Princip, Nedeljko Kabrinović, and Trifko Grabez, were sent to carry out the assassination, along with 4 other men from Serbia helping them with the process. June 26, 1914, around 10 in the morning, Franz Ferdinand began his tour in Bosnia, where the assassination would take place. But the 3 men did not succeed. Nedeljko Kabrinović and Trifko Grabez were arrested. After the morning assassination attempts, Franz decided to change the route of the tour. But during the continuation of the tour, the driver made a wrong turn. This wrong turn led Franz and Sophie directly outside of a coffee shop where they stopped to discuss the mistake that the driver had made. Coincidentally, it was at that coffee shop that the final assassin, Gavrilo Princip, was buying a coffee. Upon seeing them, Gavrilo ran out of the coffee shop and shot Franz Ferdinand through the neck. The careful secrecy of the Black Hand delayed its being found out as the instigator of the crime until many weeks later. By the time they were caught, the guilt for the crime had been taken loosely in Serbia. This led to tensions between Serbia and Austria growing, eventually drawing in the other European powers and escalating into World War. At the time, Gavrilo Princip suspected there would be a war between Austria and Serbia because of the killing of Franz Ferdinand, but little did he know that what he was about to do would kill over 38 million people globally and change the way wars would be fought for all time. The effects of terrorism and radicalism are both drastic and completely unpredictable, and it shows how fragile the course of history can be. Standing in front of that coffee shop wasn't a planned event, and making the wrong turn wasn't a planned event. It was just a nationalistic terrorist with a gun who saw Franz Ferdinand across the street. Much like the Kennedy assassination, people will always come up with conspiracy theories about how it was some bigger power that sent Lee Harvey Oswald to kill JFK. Because the truth is, people find more comfort believing in a bigger power than just believing in the fact that any regular man with a gun and a motive can change the course of history so drastically. It makes people feel nervous, exposed. Humans are animals that can individually uphold an enormous amount of power, more power than we know how to use responsibly, and this power scares us. As Theo White once wrote, "Power is something that will make the smart men strong, the strong men bad, and make the bad turn crazy." Because of this great power that all men and women have, one can easily say that Gavrilo Princip and the men who started the Black Hand will forever be known as some of the most important people in history, for their enormous toll on history. If the events of that day had ended with Franz Ferdinand not being killed, then I am positive that there would not have been a Second World War, because there would not have been a first.